Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I publish on Rumble, I'm on Patreon, Twitter, all that things here on the banner here. So let's get started. We got some stuff to go through. Some interesting rumors that are going around that supposedly AMD is going to launch the 5600X 3D. So basically it's the 56, which is a very good budget CPU, even for gaming, in the AM4 platform. But seemingly they are going to do a 3D core cache, V-cache on this CPU. It's only 6 cores, while the 5800 it's an 8 core, but taking into account that the 5600 CPU, it's very good for gaming, even at 4K if you have a decent GPU. It seems to be, if they are going about it, mainly because there is still a lot of support on the AM4 platform. It's not that old. It's only AM5 platform only came out like 6 months ago, give or take. It's still a very worthwhile platform if you are not even on constrained on some budget, but if you are in that ecosystem and you're looking to upgrade your CPU because you have like a 3000 series or something like that, I think it's still a very excellent option to maintain yourself in the AM4 ecosystem. And this one may be a very excellent choice for not low entry level, but like mid to high entry level gaming CPU, which taking into account we have here some some specs here. The 5800X3D, which compared to the supposedly 5600X3D, of course the clocks will be slower because of the temperatures of the 3D cache, very sensitive to that, but it has of course more cache inside, which is good usually for most of the games here. And because at the moment the 5800X3D it's around $400 now. It launched at $450, or was about $450, but they lowered. Sorry, I think I'm mistaking that 7800X3D, sorry. I know it's cheaper now, the 5800X3D. I saw some prices here, sorry, I was not prepared. I thought the prices were correct. Yeah, the 5800X3D, it's around $300 or less, sorry. It's not $400, it's $300 or less. The 7800X3D, it is around 400 with some promotions that I think are still available. So supposedly the 56X3D should be around like $200, I don't know, $220, something like that, which makes it a very good option if you are already on the AM4 platform, and you don't intend to upgrade to an AM5 platform, which in most cases it doesn't compensate, given that the AM4 still has a lot to offer in like at least 2 years. Even with the new games that are coming out, the CPUs are pretty decent on this platform to handle like stuff for ages, but at least 2 years I think it's still worth the investment of having a CPU upgrade. Don't get too much on the hype on the AM5 platform if you're a little bit more constrained or you're on in doubt. Just buy a better CPU if you have like an older CPU. And there is even if you want to upgrade like motherboards, or even if you want to build a new system, AM4 it's still well worth going to, because it's way cheaper. Even the features and everything, it's the CPUs, you don't have like the GPU stuff with the AV1 codecs that they're trying to impinge upon you. There is no worth of getting on the hype with the PCI 5X with the SSD. It's not going to be like a common thing, I think, regarding the fact that it's coming out now in PC, and the fact that it has to do a lot of troubleshooting with this technology and be integrated mainly on games. You don't need like PCI like 5 or even 4, even an SSD NVMe PCI 3. It's more than good than to play games, and given in account that maybe they are going to I don't know if it even is better than the 5800X3D in terms of value, because the CPU, if you're on a budget, if you have a good decent amount of GPU, if you have a good GPU to pair with this CPU, I think you have a good old time and at least 2 to 3 years to play games, depending of course the GPU itself, and it can be paired even with better GPUs, because the 5600, if you try to pair it with the, I don't know, let's say a 4080, 4090, and you start trying to play for even sometimes 4040p, you get bottlenecked on the CPU. So I think this is it's going to be a little bit an uplift, but as always, this is a rumor. If it comes out, wait for reviews to see how it compares, because for sure everybody is going to compare it with the 5800 X3D, the 5600, and even with the 7600 and the 7700 for sure, because it supposedly is going to be competing a little bit with the 7600 and 77. In kinds of, if it comes out, it will sure be around that that kind of performance. But yeah, a little bit long-winded here article, but it's interesting that they are still in maybe some extra silicon or something like that, and they were tweaking around the 3D cache, because they launched the 7000 series with 3 versions of 3D cache. I don't know if it is one of the reasons, but yeah. Continuing with AMD, Sapphire, they are going to launch new or refreshed 6750 XT cards, and they are going to compete basically with the 4060 in terms of, I don't think not even with performance, but with price, because not mistaken, the 4060 Ti is round about between a 3060 Ti and a 3070 in terms of performance, which is a little bit lower than the, it's round about the 7600, not the 6750 XT. I think it's going to be around this price, maybe 300 and something, and they are going to, it's going to kill 4060 Ti for sure. Mainly because of the price to performance, because this is an older GPU in terms of technology. But still it has like 12 gigabytes of VRAM, 192-bit bus, which is better, and okay, the clocks and everything, it's not that, it is what it is. And as you can see here, because the 6750 XT, it performs well above the 3060 Ti, so it should be around almost 10% up in terms of performance regarding the 3060 Ti, and we are doing this 1440p. I think it's going to blow out 4060 Ti out of the water, and they will, NVIDIA really needs to start lowering their low tier GPU, because this I see a lot of people saying that 4060 Ti it's like the mid-range. It is not, it's low end performance. This is basically supposedly to be like a 4050 Ti, not a 4060 Ti, and the same thing goes when the 4060 will be launched. It should be like a 4050. They screwed the pooch when they launched when they wanted to launch the 4080 12 gigabytes. The 4080, even in terms of performance gap between the 4090, the 4080 should have been like a 4070 Ti, give or take, because of the gap in performance. They screwed everything when they launched regarding it in terms of naming schemes and how they usually supposedly do the performance gap between the SKUs. But yeah, I think this one is going to be a better buy than the 4060 Ti, and even of course, going to be better than the 7600, because it's a lower price, lower performance. I think they are trying to go about it and try to sell all the stock of the old GPUs, because they still have plenty of them, because of the 3 years that we had of nightmarish scenarios on GPU stuff regarding gaming. But yeah, it's I think if it's going to launch around that $400 or 380, 75, 375, something like that, I think it's going to be a very good option for the middle range in terms of pricing, because even though 400, it's a lot of money. But yeah, I think this might be good news to try to put some pressure on NVIDIA, and they should already been doing this for a long time, they need to pressure, they need to start doing some moves on trying to gather some more market share on the GPU, so they have to put some pressure on the competition, in this case Nvidia, because Intel to a certain extent is still competing with the AMD of performance for value. I hope Battlemage will start to introduce some pressure on Nvidia also in their mid to higher range, even though the Battlemage supposedly is going to only try to perform like what we have now as a 4080, which is good. It's an a huge improvement between Arc and Battlemage, but we will have to wait and see basically by the end of the year if they bring anything more to the table. With that said, Intel is been gaining ground with their upscaling technology. Around 50 games now support this one. A lot of here 3D Mark, this is another game, but okay. But 50 plus games already support this technology, the XeSS or whatever, the SGF. It's good. The more this kind of technologies are adopted, it means that the devs and the publishers are willing to accept more this kind of things, and they will optimize better for this, and even like the drivers from Intel will be better when the games came out and everything else. And of course this will also translate to a little bit in production wise, even though I don't think Intel has like big issues with the productivity apps regarding their GPUs. AMD still have some fine tuning to make. I think some issues on DaVinci Resolve or something like that, but overall they are pretty good in terms of the at least they improved a lot the game since the launch of the Arc GPUs. So now let's going for some Summer Game Fest. We got some updates on Pacific Drive. It's going to be published for whatever. It doesn't have like an exact date, but it's going to launch this year. They went about it a little bit on why the game it is, how it's going to be played as it is, and they go a little bit on the deep dive on the main gameplay mechanic of the car and everything. It seems pretty interesting. I'm very interested in this game. I think it's going to be a decent game, and regarding like survival game, the mechanic of the car being your kind of shelter in the middle of this. You have like a gnome base, which is like a gas station or whatever it is, and then you can customize and upgrade your car, which is the main protection on the environment. And I think, of course, hopefully the story that keeps you driving to go make those runs outside of your main hub will be pretty engaging. We got more stuff from Lords of the Fallen Dual Worlds. We got a little bit more information, mainly the dual worlds, how they're going to, the mechanic around it. It seems that the Lantern is going to influence this, and also your devs. From what I understood, this will work. This is like the Souls-like stuff, but this mechanic of the Lantern, which supposedly when you die you go to this world, and then I didn't understand very well how you're going to regress then to the Sunlight world or whatever. I forget the name that they called it. But from what I understand, when you die, you go to this world. I think you try to fight your way out of it to, I don't know, to go to a portal or something like that. But also the Lantern will function like a like kind of a portal to a certain degree, so you can navigate throughout the levels, because they are similar but they are different. For example, hidden bridges on this dark world, and in the light world doesn't have those kind of bridges per se. It's very interesting how they're going about it, and the gameplay in terms of combat seems a little bit better, at least from the previous game. I think it's more trying to be more on par with Elden Ring and everything, and Dark Souls stuff. Seems more quicker, more responsive, which is a good sign. We didn't have anything regarding classes and anything, but at least the overall scheme of things, it seems pretty good from what I've been seeing. But as always, don't pre-order anything, wait for reviews and then make your decision. I don't have articles here, but I managed to get through their Steam page. of these games that this is from Intel Future Gaming, I think it's called. Doesn't have here. I think it's the Intel Future Gaming live stream that he did. These are some games that caught my attention. The Spirit of Samurai. Mainly it's about how the artistic style here. It seems like a little bit stop motion thing here, but I think it's made in Unreal Engine, from what I understood. It's like an adventure indie with some Metroidvania style stuff. You are a samurai and we have like the spirit guardians. One of the is the forest one, which is like the Okami thing, the wolf, and some I like this one's from I forget the name of the anime. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting how they're going about it, because I think you can die and then you have the spirituals that you can navigate in their own world to try to revive your character. Very interesting, stop motion 2D. It's very interesting how they're going about it, and of course it's like a Nipponic culture. I think it's always good to have this kind of explorations of how the culture worked to a certain degree in that time. Also, you got this one very interesting, the Precinct. This is like a sandbox game, kind of a detective one, kind of like GTA in reverse, with this kind of overview on the game. The color, it's more about, again, the art style and how they're going about it, or it's seemingly how they're going about it. I think you are like a detective and going to solve crimes, respond to emergencies. I don't know how well it's going to work this, but it doesn't seem very well optimized, at least from here. But yeah, it seems like open worldly to a certain degree, and very interesting on what they are trying to do here. Seems good. Everything will be added to my wish list, and of course I will leave links on all of this so you can wish list also. And of course, any new info that I might see from these games that I'm presenting, I will let you know. We got also this one, the Bookwalker Thief of Tales. In the trailer, the issue with this kind of things, it's a lot of trailers, you don't get a sense of what the game it is, because the trailer seemed like an action, first-person action thing, or third-person action on the trailer, and it's more about like turn-based tactics, and it's like isometric with this kind of little boxes here. It seems pretty interesting. And it's supposedly you are a book walker, so you have like missions. You enter in the book itself, and then the book will reveal itself in this kind of small worlds, and for sure there is a lot of stuff happening there. Seems pretty interesting, the game. It will be added on my wish list also. You got a demo supposedly now available to try it out. I cannot try it because my laptop doesn't have handle like even these little games, but yeah, I think it's a very interesting game. These kind of things, I always like some turn-based tactics gameplay and isometric, and how they're going about it. I don't think, like, for example, this is like a chapter of the book, and then that's why it's a little bit more isolated. I don't know how they're going about it, but it seems pretty interesting what they are doing here. We got also Rekka, which is the trailers seem to be like you're going about trying to build like a Baba Yaga kind of cottage here, because it's got the chicken legs, which is one of the main things of a Baba Yaga cottage, as you can see here on the trailer. Supposedly you're going to be a witch, and I don't know, it says it got some base building here, and about exploration. I don't know, you have supposedly being a witch, you need to do some stuff. I don't know, because the trailer doesn't give me any more information than that. It only shows basically these kind of things. Seems pretty interesting. I'm curious about this game, and again, add it to the wish list also, so I can keep track on this game. And of course, you got Lord of the Fallen. It's already on wish list, so I don't forget. Pacific Drive also, so I can leave a link on the description below of these games. Then we got some deals. We got The Outer Worlds. It's like $20 on, so 35% off, give or take. This is the original version, because there is also the Space Spacer's Choice Edition. I think it's they fixed a little bit on the thing, but still you need if you played the first one, there is nothing basically new. I think it's still it's very heavy on the PC requirement stuff, and I think it has like some stuttering here and there. I think the only thing that is worth is the graphic upgrades, but the graphic upgrades just tanks your performance on the PC. So if you struggle a little bit with this, the Outer Worlds Normal Edition, it's not recommended. Basically, from the reviews that I've been seeing regarding this one, the upgrade, if you struggle with the original one, this one is not worth it yet. I think it's because of Virtual Games. These guys basically did the upgrade. It was not Obsidian, from what I understood. I don't know why they didn't do it themselves. They're the ones that basically developed the game. But yeah, the patches here, but I don't think it's like on point still. But yeah, you can always afterwards upgrade. But the Outer Worlds here, $20. I think the game is pretty good. From what it's Obsidian, in the same lines that Fallout New Vegas, in time how the story develops and the choices and everything. We got also the Resident Evil collection. It's on promotion, except Resident Evil 4 Remake, of course. It's a very recent one, but you have 50% off on Village, 60% off on Biohazard, the 7. We got also the remakes, 75% off. The other ones, $5. You got all the things here. I'll put all the remakes and the new ones, so if you are interested, you can check them out. And lastly, we got Death's Gambit Afterlife. It's on promo, 35% off. I never seen any gameplay from this, but it's like a Metroidvania style, pixel arts with Souls-like combat. Always been very positive reviews here, so I suppose it's a very good. I'm interested because I would add it on my wish list. And usually when I add it and they stay on my wish list after they launch, it's because I really want to play it. Even though it launched in 2018, it's one of those games that I want to play, at least by myself. And basically this is it, guys. It's been a long video, I think, and I'm going to wrap up with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and of course doing some video stuff for them also. And in my free spare time, doing the daily videos with better quality, doing some deep dives with some scripted content, resuming my gameplay series, and possibly in the near future doing some live streams. And of course I will keep it up with the thing of the Summer's Game Fest, all the live streams. Today I think we have like the Bethesda thing and the Xbox one. I will watch it like 2 in the morning. It's been late in my time zone when this live stream starts. But yeah, maybe tomorrow I have something for you. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.